My name is Lisa Jeffrey and I'm the Executive Director of Country Beef Forage Association. I think that the Living Lab actually aligns brilliantly with what PCBFA is doing. The rancher-researcher partnership model is something that we've actually been using in our research program for a number of years, so it's a really great fit from that standpoint. And then also as far as our mission. So PCBFA's mission is really around environmental resiliency and climate change mitigation, but then also with a lens of how to marry short-term profitability with that long-term sustainability, because we all know that working towards these regenerative agricultural systems is really important and the benefits of that is really clear, but we don't believe that farmers should be expected to sacrifice any productivity or profitability to achieve that long-term sustainability or the greater good piece.
I'm Akimo Makai. I'm with Country Beef Forage Association based out of Fairview, and I am the Program Director for the Peace Region Living Lab. I've been here since 2009 and I'm loving it. For this particular Living Lab, it is unique in a way because it encompasses the Peace Region in both Alberta and British Columbia. The Peace Region producers face similar challenges. So this is an opportunity to connect cross-commodity producers and organizations and create stronger network of knowledge exchange.
My name is Johanna Murray. I'm the Extension Coordinator for Country Beef Forage Association. I run all of our events, I run our podcast and our webinars and all that sort of stuff. We've been in the Peace since 1982. In that time, we've really been able to work with a lot of producers about actual on-farm issues.
My name is James Yuha, out in the Silver Valley, Alberta area. The Country Beef Forage Association has been kind enough to do all the monitoring and the research side of it, which really helps us out. I know most farmers don't get involved with a lot of the scientific side of record keeping, so that's really a huge benefit we have with the Country Beef Forage Association.
My name is Buthaina Al-Makhtari and I'm the Research Coordinator with Country Beef Forage Association. I know that a lot of farmers do want to adopt a lot of ideas. They are willing to jump in and try things. The economic part is usually the scary part for everyone, and so this project focuses a lot on the socioeconomic aspect, and that's huge, and I think that's going to get a lot of farmers talking and willing to adopt and willing to try things.
And a big way that the association contributes to that is by reducing the risk to the producer in adopting some of these beneficial management practices. There's a big risk with trying a new practice, and so the association can help shoulder that risk with what we like to call apply, adapt, adopt. We take new and emerging research or new management practices and we test it in our region, usually starting with small plots and moving up to farm scale. We adapt and tweak it as needed for the region, and then we're there to support producers as they're adopting it.
I'm Dan Martin and we're at Baytree, Alberta. For me, a big thing has always been profitability, that profit margin. If I can produce a good product that people would recognize that, that it's a quality product, I think they can appreciate that.
The Living Lab is different in a way that the producer is really leading the project.
My name's Kyle Davies. We're just outside of Brownville, Alberta. My grandpa settled here in 1929. I just bought it about a year ago. Name pending, Emlyn's Field is what I'm going to call it, after my grandpa. There's a few things I'm interested in. The main one is I'm trying to grow native prairie clovers. It's a non-bloating legume. Might supplement my alfalfa fields, and I was thinking introducing it, and it'll be more of a later grazing mix into my rotation.
I am Blesius Azugmi, and I work with the PCBFA as a research scientist. Having an animal science background, I think the livestock integration component of it will be really great. So we're looking forward to following up things like bale grazing, things like pasture rejuvenation involving livestock. So that is something I'm really excited to work with.
I'm doing some bale grazing on the home quarter here. I am also doing about 100 acres 120 acres of cocktail mix.
My name is Katie McLaughlin, and I am the Extension and Office Manager with Peace Country Beef and Forage Association. People are curious about these practices. If they see them being successful on their neighbors' places, it takes courage to take that first step to actually do it and be that innovator in the neighborhood, if you will.
Our best management practice we focused on for our project was the compost rejuvenation of hayfields. To do with a little bit of that composting, we do a windrow compost system and turn it all year long.
We have a lot of very forward-thinking and innovative producer members.
Goal is to improve my soil. I'm doing all these different practices, hoping that I'm making a difference. I don't have time to check myself, so having someone come in, do the baseline soil sampling, helping me monitor it for 5 years, and then taking the final sample at the end of the program, see if this is improving anything. That's kind of the reason I signed up.
To see how the agriculture is contributing to sequestering carbon in the soil will be also great. This may help consumers to know that agriculture is not really the culprit, as it's been blamed before for greenhouse gas emissions. So if we could be able to capture this data and present it to consumers, and I think it would be really a great idea.
I would like to be able to demonstrate that these best management practices and stuff, that we're not vilifying agriculture. Cows can actually be a tool to help alleviate our climate crisis.
There seems to be a lot of concern for food safety, food quality, how it's produced. Natural production is becoming more and more of a good thing.
I think a lot of people nowadays are more concerned about where their food comes from and if it's ethically raised and stuff like that, and I believe this Living Lab project will definitely further the knowledge of the general public.
We're kind of in a unique area in the piece. So to be able to point to some research that is done here and be able to say, this happened here in the past, this is what we've seen, and this is what we know. So just to be able to have those numbers, to be able to answer questions for producers in a meaningful way that's relevant to their ecozones, really, really exciting to me.
Grew up on the farm. When I started getting into it, I started going to a whole bunch of courses offered by the Peace Country Beef Forage Association. It kind of inspired me in these different practices, and I loved taking courses there.
Call it boots on the ground. You go out to another farm or even in a meeting type setting, whatever, you get a speaker there and you get that information and you take that home and try to implement it on your farm. That's made a big difference in my approach to farming in the last number of years, and I just see a lot of value in it for other producers.
So I think this project adoption is really what's gonna make me personally feel like this project was a success. We're gonna have so many field days, so many visits and talking with farmers and farmers talking to their neighbors.
I think that's what I'm most excited about, is to see how these practices work on a large scale and to see if we can get that adoption piece.
I think this is just a great opportunity, and I look forward to working with the Living Labs and the Peace Country Beef Forage Association.